Let me ask you one question. Have you ever thought in your mind that, if I just earn a little more money, it's going to solve all my financial problems? Do you know I used to think that too? But many of us just believe that, if we earn more, it's going to solve every issue we have and we'll end up not being broke. Let's look at this example. Do you know that there are some people earning just £25,000 and they are building wealth? While somebody is earning £100,000 and is drowning in debt. So tell me, if finance, having more money is the real problem here, why in this scenario is someone building wealth and the other is not? Today we're going to be uncovering the real reasons why people stay broke, and most importantly, how we're going to break this cycle. Welcome to Broke Rebuild, where we rebuild our finances, our mindsets, our confidence, and our lives in general, one step at a time. One of the biggest financial lies we tell ourselves is that more money automatically solves many problems. It doesn't. Imagine someone who earns £2,000 and eventually spends 2,100. And then think about another person that earns £8,000 and then spends 8,500. Who is in a better financial position? Neither of them. Both of them are spending more than they earn. The amount here is just the difference. Money doesn't fix bad habits, it often magnifies them. If you struggle to manage £500, I bet you struggle to manage 5,000 unless you change your habit. This isn't to make anyone feel guilty, it's just to show you something more powerful. If your habits have created the problem, your habits can also create a solution. What are the 7 reasons, that would make people financially stuck? Let's look at it. One, no financial direction. Imagine just getting up, driving in your car without a destination. Eventually, you end somewhere, but simply not where you wanted. Many people do exactly that with their money. They receive salary, spend it, hope there is enough left, and then repeat the cycle. Money needs a plan. Every pound should have a purpose before you spend it. A second reason is living for today. We live in a world that constantly tells us, oh, you deserve it, treat yourself, buy now. The problem isn't about treating yourself occasionally. The problem is treating yourself every week while your future is struggling. Ask yourself before you make that purchase, will this make tomorrow easier or harder for me? That one question will change the direction of your spending habits. Another reason is emotional spending. Have you noticed that many adverts encourage you to keep shopping when you're feeling emotional, when you feel sad, buy something, stressed, order takeaway, celebrating, go shopping, bored, scroll online stores. Money becomes emotional instead of intentional. The next time you feel the urge to buy something unexpectedly, pause and ask, what emotion am I trying to fix? Sometimes the answer isn't shopping. Sometimes it's rest, prayer, conversation, and just a walk in the park. Another reason is that you're comparing yourself to others. Social media has made comparison so much easier than ever. Someone buys a new car, someone, you start to feel behind, someone goes on holiday, you think you're failing, someone posts a designer bags, oh no, you start, you start spending to keep up. Remember this, you're comparing your everyday life to someone's highlight reel. Comparison is expensive. Comparison is, it's not worth it. Contentment is profitable in life. Another reason is ignoring the small expense. Yes, many people think that wealth disappears through one big purchase. Often it disappears from the dozen small ones, those daily coffees, food deliveries, subscriptions you forgot about, impulse buy. Little leaks sink a big ship. Another reason is no emergency fund. Life will happen. The washing machine will break. The car will need repair. The school expenses appear. Medical costs rise. Without saving, every emergency becomes a debt. An emergency fund doesn't remove problems, it reduces panic. Another reason is the wrong mindset. Everything begins from the mind. If you constantly say to yourself, I will always be broke, I'll never get ahead, I'm just unlucky, eventually you stop seeing any opportunities because you've convinced yourself that they don't exist. Change begins with changing what you believe is possible. Now, the broke rebuild plan. Let's talk about rebuilding. These are the practical steps you can start today. One, know your numbers, write them down. How much do you earn? How much do you owe? And how much do you spend? Don't guess it, know it. The second plan is to make sure you pay yourself first. Before spending on wants, save everything. Save something. I'm sorry. Save something, even if it's £10. Consistency matters more than the amount. You're building a habit. Three, delay impulse buy. Create a 24-hour rule. If you still want it tomorrow, then think again. Most impulses disappear overnight, I tell you. I have an Amazon subscription and this happens to me. I used to, always buy. But now I put them in my basket and say I wait a bit and just think about it again. If that need still persists tomorrow and I feel like it's very important before I go ahead, that's a very good way to stop yourself. Build a weekly budget. Monthly budgets, feel overwhelming. Instead, budget every week. Ask yourself, how much does this week need in my finances? Stay focused on the next 7 days. Another step is to increase your income. Don't rely on only one source of income forever. Learn a skill, sell a service, start a side hustle. Offer what you already know. Your future income often depends on the value you create for others. That's just a fact. Protect your peace. Not every invitation needs to be a yes. Not every trend deserves your money. Not every purchase adds value to your life. Financial freedom often starts from learning to say no. Another scripture today that would help us is Proverbs 22, verse 7. It says, the rich man rule over the poor, and the borrower is a servant to the lender. This verse isn't saying borrowing is always wrong. It's reminding you that a debt can limit your freedom. Every payment we reduce, every pound we save, every wise decision we make moves us one step closer to freedom. God calls us to be wise, stewards of what we have, whether it's a little and whether it's a lot. So this week's challenge is very simple. Take 30 minutes, write down your expenses if that you've had in the last 7 days. Write down things you need and things you wanted. Finally, choose one expense that you can reduce or eliminate this week. Don't aim to change everything overnight. Aim to, make one better decision than you made last week. That's how rebuilding begins. So if today's video has helped you see money differently, I'd love to hear from you. Comment below. What is the biggest money habit you are committed in changing? Is it impulse buying, living within a budget, overspending, or comparing yourself with others? If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe to Broke Rebuild. Every week, we're taking practical steps to rebuild our finances, renew our mind, restore our confidence, and create a better future. Just remember this: you are not broke because your future is hopeless. You're only broke because some habits need rebuilding. I love you all. Stay blessed.